The second half, I think that game's really run away from us. What was your thoughts on the game?
I thought we started the better team. I thought for the first 45 we were certainly the team with the better chances and looked the most dangerous. It was about probably capitalising on those moments and could we take one of the opportunities that we created. I thought we looked a threat. I thought the two up front gave them all sorts of kind of problems in the first half, and then gradually, like you say, the second half I think obviously we don't kind of perform with the same level as we did in the first half, and obviously then they score the first goal, they score the second. It's a bit of a kind of sickener because, like I said, I thought for certainly the first 45 and the early part of the start of the second half we were well in the game.
At half time we were talking off camera about the two sides at half time and how much happier we'd have been with the overall performance than Livingston would have despite the scoreline, and I suppose that's kind of tied up with what you're saying there, that in that first half we had opportunities that we've spurned and I guess we've been punished for that.
Aye, and listen, that's probably where you're at the moment in terms of those moments of luck. If you're flying high and everything's rosy, then you probably go and take one or two of those opportunities in the first half and certainly make better decisions, but harsh reality is we don't, and that always gives kind of Livingston a lifeline. You know, I think if we'd have been coming in leading at half time, no one would have been too kind of disheartened or complaints. So it was about kind of moments in games, and it's about when you're on top you've got to be really kind of ruthless and have that killer instinct that you go and you make sure you grab that goal, and then like I said in the second half is difficult. I thought without really too many opportunities both sides, it kind of fizzled out, and then obviously it's a sore one to take.
The difference in us second half, is some of that about fatigue? Is it about players thinking that the chances have gone? What do you think the difference in our performances in the first 45 to the second is down to?
Probably a wee bit of belief, and I think, like I said, it's a totally different second half if you take one or two of those opportunities. The longer that you don't, it's like a burden on your shoulders. Being there as a player, and I know the feeling. I think at the same time as well, the fatigue, like you said, fatigue in my kind of humble opinion, of course you feel it, and you're asking boys to play probably through the pain barrier when they are on tired legs and they're running on empty, and that obviously you see that with the young boys coming on there at the end just to give us a wee bit of energy, which I thought they'd done really well. But listen, I'm not going to kind of complain on that too much. I think in the second half alone, I think Pittman should have seen a red. Like I say, I'm not going to advocate for someone to be sent off, but he makes a tackle 5 minutes or whatever it was before that, he gets booked, and then his tackle on Luke, which results in him being injured and having to take him off, is probably more reckless and dangerous than the one he actually gets booked for. That changes the complexion of the game, and then it gives you probably that bit of momentum and a little boost that you possibly needed going into the second half.
The substitutions that you made, the last substitutions that you made, given the three debuts out, I suppose you're not going to be looking for too many positives after a 3-0 defeat, but for those young guys to make their professional debuts, that's a big moment.
Of course it is. Remember mine's myself. Like I said, it's testament to probably the misfortune that we've got just now in terms of squad depth and stuff as well, so they're finding themselves unavailable for selection in the matchday squad. But listen, it's up to them to take their opportunity. They've come in, and when they've trained with us and stuff, they've done well. So managing the game, I think it was probably the right time just to go and give them that little bit of a taster. And like I said, I actually thought when they came on, they looked lively, showed enthusiasm, and hopefully more to come.
The Ben being missing, has he picked up an injury in training? What's the situation?
No, he picked up a kind of flu virus last night, so he's been up through the night with that. Listen, I would have loved for Ben, especially coming off the back of scoring 2 and probably full of confidence to go and contribute tonight, but unfortunately for him, he's bed bound. Nothing we can do about that, so we're hoping that it's just a quick, hopefully 48 hours bug, and that he'll be available for Saturday, but we'll need to obviously wait and see.
The first half in particular and the performance on Saturday itself, I suppose that's what you've got to be looking at as we build in towards Partick Thistle on Saturday coming.
Of course, aye, but like I say, the games come thick and fast, and like I say, from my point of view, for the kind of coaching side and the manager side, 3 games in a week when your squad's a wee bit depleted isn't ideal, but like you said, there's been loads of positives in that. In terms, I thought the the Morton game on Saturday was a real good performance and probably merited to go and get 3. We didn't, which is obviously the frustrating thing and the bit we're looking to try and put right. I think, like I say, for 45 certainly we had Livingston under kind of a lot of pressure and they were kind of wary of our threat. And then, like you said, we lose the game, so it almost sets you back a wee step or two. So we've got to make sure that we quickly eradicate that and we focus, because like I say, we've got another quick turnaround on Saturday. You've not really had a chance to look at any of them back, I know, but your immediate thoughts on the goals we've conceded? We touched on it at half time. I think Livingston, to be fair, recognised that kind of during the first half, but midway through the first half, with Pittman trying to disrupt our shape a little bit, but the boys were confident. You could see how compact we were. Livingston were struggling to kind of play through us and really get any opportunities, resorted to kind of long balls to Stevie May, which they were hoping to get joy off second balls and stuff from there. So they tried to tweak things a little bit and they were making runs from a bit deeper with Pittman and McCabe, which once we got to grips with 2 or 3 times we were fine. It was about that communication element and making sure that we can pass on kind of instruction and kind of positional areas on the pitch to make sure that, although they're trying to spook us a little bit, can we stay compact and stick to the game plan, which was working. I think first half, the amount of times that Lewis and Mock certainly on the other side, getting round the side, down the sides of their full backs and their centre backs, and it was just about that final wee bit of quality. Found ourselves in great areas to get those opportunities, but it just kind of never really fell for us, or never really had that 100% confidence to really go and test the goalie and kind of pepper the goal. We'll speak to you before the game on Saturday, but thanks very much, Rhys.
No problem. Flynn, your thoughts on the game?
Bitterly disappointing in the end. Thought we started, and throughout the first half we frustrated them, created a lot of number of chances that we could have exploited. Half time, even though we're 1-0 down, we were pretty calm, confident we can go and turn the game around, and I thought we started the second half well, and then the set piece sort of killed our momentum. And they sort of took off after that. We didn't seem to find a rhythm.
That second goal, it must have been incredibly frustrating from a corner kick, as you said, a set piece goal. To lose that goal at that point in the game probably did kill it. It must have been really irritating for you guys.
It was a kick in the teeth, but I still felt like there was a bit of belief, because it was a set piece goal. It wasn't like they carved us open, and I still felt like they were vulnerable on the break. But once they got that second goal, they started to manage the game. They've got experience, they've got physicality, and they managed to see it out and got another goal.
Was that maybe the difference between the two sides, that in that first half we create a number of opportunities, as you said, we managed not to take any of them. They go up and they maybe only have one real moment of quality in the half, but they score it.
We created a number of chances, and I don't think anyone's expecting us to go in at the break 3, 4, 5 up with the position we're in, but I'd like to think we could take at least one. I mean, I can't remember many chances they've had in the first half, but they've been clinical with it, and that's how they found themselves in front in the first half ultimately.
The first half performance and the performance on Saturday, I suppose we've got to try and use those going forward into Partick Thistle's visit here, because there's a lot that we can take from those.
Absolutely. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of analysis on tonight, because it'll be needed, but there's a lot of belief we can take from that first half performance and Saturday especially. We'll move on quick. The games are coming thick and fast just now. Another home game, so we're going to look to replicate that first performance with a bit more goals, and we'll give it a right good go, and we'll get past tonight.
I suppose the only thing we'll maybe need to look back at from tonight is the nature of the 3 goals we've conceded. In their own ways, they're probably all poor goals from our perspective.
I'll need to look at them back, but I do remember 2 crosses and a set piece that are preventable. They've seen an opportunity and we've capitalised on it. And at the set piece we just need to be more competitive. I know they are a physical side and we're not the biggest, but I still feel like we could have defended that better. There needs to be more organisation.
Flynn, thanks very much for speaking to us. We'll see you on Saturday.
No worries, thanks guys.